Hi there. So the San Diego Comic Con 2026 has just gone. I haven't really seen anything from it. I've seen bits and bats, but nothing in detail, nothing specific. And I'm sure there are some great things revealed, some nice little surprises, some great moments. So I thought it's going to be a great idea to just catch up, see what there is, what happened, um, and see what we've got to look forward to in the coming year in the world of movies. So, without further ado, let's go look what was in store for us at Comic Con 2026. So, by a wide margin, the biggest reveal was more stuff from Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, coming out very soon. Really looking forward to it. That's a big thing, especially since there weren't too much. Apart from the little trailer, it took us ages to have a trailer, and we finally saw one. So there hasn't really been too much revealed. So it's great that we got some more on that. I think we got some more trailer footage, and we had some stars there. I think we had Paul Rudd in attendance, Pedro Pascal, Robert Downey Jr. So pretty awesome. So let's take a look at this.
You can see all these happy faces up front. We can't see them back there. Well, maybe that's true. But we want every.
One thing is you can see they do genuinely make a lot of effort to make sure people that it's not just like hey, look, here we are, we're promoting our thing, look at this. They do like to get people involved and talk to people. I think that's really nice, talking directly to the person, acknowledging what you said and going, well, that's true. But I think that's really, really cool. That's really awesome to do that. Shows that they care about the fans and they want them to have a good time. They're not just promoting something. They care about the fans and what they think of things, and want them to enjoy the experience. So that's really cool, I would say.
So what if we reconjure the back row of Hall H as the front row? And on the A stage, we have the Black Panther, Letitia Wright.
Wow, there's some big names there.
Winston Duke. We have Shang-Chi, Simu Liu. We got the Falcon, Danny Ramirez. Captain America, Anthony Mackie. And Ant-Man himself is the Paul Rudd.
I thought it was Tom Holland there, but I think it's the guy. Is it? The guy from Thunderbolts, I think, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm missing. Oh yeah, because look, we've got what's his name? Forgot his name. Florence Pugh, I think. No, yeah.
So here we have Pedro Pascal. Haley Atwell. And Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I think someone very, very important is missing from this lineup. Who? Listen, 2 years ago we asked you to trust us when we tasked RDJ with doing a 180. From playing the greatest hero of all time to playing the greatest villain. And we knew we were going to have to assemble the greatest Marvel cast ever to try and stop him. And you'll see on December 18th whether they can or not. But without further delay, I want to introduce to you your Victor Von Doom, Robert Downey Jr.
God bless us all.
Under Ric Flair there, isn't he?
It isn't easy being green. I need a lot of help.
I got this whole family around me to assist me in finally being an arch enemy, which is, it's daunting. And when y'all had faith in me 2 years ago, it lifted me up, and I think we've done something real special. But decisions will have to be made. You may consider the alternative of perhaps joining the family of Doom.
Okay, because obviously in the comics, I forget the name. You always think it's Latvia, but that's a real place. Latavia or something. There's so it's a fictional place he's from, but it's a kind of like vague European place. So there he is doing the accent. I think he does in the trailer. So that's really cool. They did that there at Comic Con right there.
Of perhaps joining the family of Doom. I believe you have all been equipped with what it might
Just
take.
this little moment there, him Pedro just looking across at Chris like, okay. But you see, he's a really light-hearted guy, but that's a balls doing that in front of everyone there, just right looking across Chris Evans. Oh, look, that was funny, wasn't it? That was a bit weird. Oh, that's funny.
And if you like, I invite you to don your masks at once.
Oh, no, guys, okay, this is getting a bit too real. We're gonna need some help. Guys, can you come join us?
Come on down.
Please help, come.
Like a wrestling opening. Yeah. Yeah. David Harbour, that's his name. I get it now. Simuli as well, he's good. I really like him, to be fair. Wow. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I do always find these things are awesome when, like, you can just have people like Paul Rudd, Chris Evans just chilling on stage, not doing anything really, literally just being there. People like that. I know, obviously, obligation, probably don't get paid for this. It's just an obligation, but they do in a way. It's just involved in the whole package of being involved with something like this. But like, that's awesome that they can just be there, just chilling. These big names who are like the big stars of any individual movie, just all there together, and that's what's best about the Avengers films, especially new ones. Like, so many big names, really, really cool. Really hyped for it now. Yeah, because it was for ages where we just didn't really have much about it. Now, obviously, it's all now coming together, and you see the people there, just big people who I love individually. So seeing them together, especially in the property I really like Marvel and Avengers, it looks great. It looks really, really good. And I think that's really, really cool. Probably expected by a lot of people that there would be something Doomsday related, but still seeing all of them together like that, it just brings home what a cast it's going to be, and hopefully what a great film it should be. Now, another rather big moment was Ryan Gosling being cast as Ghost Rider for a 2028 film. Now, this, I think, is pretty big. Ryan Gosling joining MCU, I think that's awesome because I really like Ryan Gosling. I think he's great recently. I think, especially for guys, I think they're realizing oh, he can do, you know, he's not just in romance films, he's not just, you know, Crazy Stupid Love or The Notebook or, you know, things like that. He is really cool in Blade Runner. I really liked him in Fall Guy. I know that is more of a, there's rom-com elements to that, but it was really good in that. Project Hail Mary, I haven't seen that, but apparently he's great in that. So I think him being cast in the MCU is pretty awesome. It's a really good coup for them. I hear there's a bit of division about him being cast as Ghost Rider, that people might not find that he fits the character. I don't know. I think it's just awesome to have him involved. I'm not particularly like crazy over the Ghost Rider character. Anyway, I mean, I haven't seen the second one, to be honest. I saw a bit of it and didn't finish it off. But I did see the first Ghost Rider when I was very young, with Nicolas Cage. So that's pretty cool. That was a good film. I did enjoy that. But I didn't see the sequel. But still, I'm not a massive, like, die-hard Ghost Rider comic fan. So I'm easy with this casting, but I just think it's great that we got Ryan Gosling. So anyway, let's see the announcement. Let's see him come out and talk to the crowd about it.
Coming up with questions, all the questions that we get asked anytime I'm at. Anybody familiar with the Happy Sad Confused podcast? I think this guy Josh Horowitz was on stage during your Apple presentation. He asked me the same question about this.
I love that there's just a man there just not really looking too interested despite being at the very front. He just looks a bit blasé looking at his phone. But there he is at the very front. Like, come on, man. Appreciate that. Look at all the others. Look at him. Find someone who looks at you like this guy looks like Kevin Feige. Wow.
I feel like the fans really want to see Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Well, I mean, I just feel like I've seen all the fan art over the years, and I've been talking to you about it. I've been talking to Ryan about it.
Yes, you have, over and over and over again.
Well, let's not make it weird. I mean, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And then I remember that time, just a few years back, it was actually here at Comic Con.
Yeah.
I asked you about it. I asked you about the rumors.
Sorry, I realised that I'm getting focused on more minor details and just people in the audience as opposed to the big, you know, thing here. But just that woman at that moment when he said, "Oh, I was actually here at Comic Con," she goes, "Ooh." I mean, she is directly behind him, to be fair, but still. So she knows she's being directly filmed right now, but still.
I will tell you this, just because the lights go out does not mean it's a sign. It does not mean that.
I realise now that a lot of the music, there's a clip before I looked at, and I thought it's a bit intrusive, isn't it? I realise now it weren't the music at the event. There was obviously music already behind it at the thingy, which would have perhaps striked this copyright. So they've put their own like license-free music in the background. I've just now realised. But yeah.
Wow. Is this really happening? Okay. As you know, this is a character I've wanted to play for a very long time. So, Kevin, Josh Horowitz, Hall H, thank you. Thank you.
He's always effortlessly charming, isn't he? Very likable.
I mean, there's only one director who can do it.
Only one director you have in mind for it. Only one director who could do it. You know, Ryan has another movie coming out first. It's called Star Wars Starfighter. And I don't want to brag, but I've been lucky enough to see Star Wars Starfighter. And as a Star Wars nerd, and a bigger Star Wars nerd than a Marvel nerd. Is that true? That's not true. No, it's not. It's awesome. It's awesome. And the charisma he brings to Star Wars.
It's a bit awkward him saying that, isn't it? Probably a bigger Star Wars. Is that true? No, it's not. It's a bit. Why say that? Fair enough if you are, but who knows? Maybe he wants to head Star Wars more than he does Marvel. But it's strange. I will say he's really well prepared. I mean, I know he probably has. Pardon me there. He probably is. No, he's probably really busy. I was going to say, with all the money, I'm sure he has lots of time to prepare. But no, I'm sure there's lots and lots of other stuff he's going. But he's very well prepared here. Everything's very well choreographed and planned out what he's about to say. I know it kind of has to be. It's not like he's going to go up there and go, let's see. What was it? Ghost Rider, was it? But still, I do admire the effort he puts into this.
And brings a fresh new thing to it. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. But what brought that fresh new thing to Star Wars Starfighter? Well, it was the same guy who brought something called Deadpool and Wolverine here a few years ago. And it was director Sean Levy.
You hear that? Sit down. Can you sit down? Sit down. I think, I don't know if they're talking to somebody else or directly this person who's filming it. I think they're probably directly telling this guy, sit down, because he's standing up so he can record it for this. But of course he wants to record it for this. So makes sense why he's doing this. It's a bit awkward. That woman is shouting at him, sit down.
I'm having the greatest flashback vibes being here because I was here with you guys 2 years and 2 days ago when we first showed Deadpool and Wolverine right here. You remember, and I remember, I'll never forget that night because it was also my real introduction to the greatest fans anywhere, always. And like you guys, I've waited, Ryan. I've waited, like Josh Horowitz has waited, like many of us fans have waited to see Gosling, who I think we would all agree is the absolute shit, right? Like, I'm sorry. And I say that with tremendous respect.
Can I get a Shabadoo? Shabadoo?
Literally. So we spent a lot of time last year making Starfighter, and the opportunity, as Ryan started talking to me about his vision for this character and the opportunity of what this movie could be, and we started riffing, and finally I was just like, bro.
Nice. Like I said, pretty cool. I like the idea. Really effortlessly charming. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be interesting. I can understand why people would be a bit like, especially when you just have a big star playing certain iconic characters. Sometimes it works better when you have somebody new, someone completely new or fairly new. But it's awesome to see a big star in there too. And, either way, I think he'll make it enjoyable. So, nice little thing there. Okay, so another big Marvel thing again, is the official confirmation of Black Panther 3, which is really cool. And David Johnson is going to be in the role, which is an interesting thing, I think, especially after Black Panther 2. Shuri, obviously, was the more focus, but then there was, the next one was kind of like hinted at a little bit there, and now here we are. So I do think it'll be really interesting. Winston Duke is back. I really like him. Mbaki is brilliant. So Tisharai, Ryan Coogler back as directing, so I'm sure it'll be really, really cool. So here it is, the announcement to that. I don't know why Letitia Wright is like acting like a funeral. Like.
December 18th, 2028. December 15th, my bad.
Shoot less days.
Yeah. I got a little bit more news. This film will be captured on this format right here. I don't know if they got It's gonna be a large format movie, shot on celluloid. Very excited about that.
If he's nervous or ill prepared, he just seems to be scrambling for it a bit, bless him. But, you know, fair enough. Very busy person, so.
He was great. And Alien Romulus. I want you guys to give a warm welcome to our new Black Panther, Mr. David Johnson. This young man.
He's blessed, isn't he?
I want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you to this amazing family that I have the honor and the privilege and the blessing to join. I actually don't want to say too much because I want to let this screen do the talking. But believe me, the honor is entirely mine. Thank you.
Really good. Nice. I do really like the Black Panther films. They, you know, they're always fun, they're always exciting, they're always, you know, different and unique as well and special. Particularly that first one, modern classic. And I'm really glad that they've cast their next Black Panther. That's really, really cool. And bless him, he seemed really blessed and grateful and appreciative, and that was really nice and really sweet to see. Now, one of the most exciting things, now I love Marvel, I love comic book related stuff, but to be honest, the most exciting and awesome thing was Spaceballs 2, the sequel, Rick Moranis coming back for his first acting gig, I think since like the 90s, the early 90s. Like, he has been out of the game for a long time. That is awesome, and apparently he got a brilliant reaction. There is actually a big full one on here. Bit too long to watch for this. Maybe I should have looked at specifically that, zeroed in on one particular and looked at that. Maybe I still can, maybe I will. But right now, let me know if you want that. But right now, I do want to see this little moment where he first comes into Hall H, because this is pretty special. And I think a lot of people really appreciated his presence here.
Wait, who's that? Yeah, try it. We have somebody? Yeah, I think so. There it is. Lift your helmet. No, he ain't Canadian enough. Right there. Try that guy. Oh, yeah, that. Lift your helmet. No, that's too tall to be Rick Moranis.
He wishes.
Wait, find another one. Oh, there's one over here. Where? Try that guy. Oh, try that guy. Hey, lift your helmet, man. There he is!
Oh, this is a guy who was who I noticed earlier, the guy who plays Sentinel in Thunderbolts. He's obviously in this too. In a busy evening that day, didn't he? Bow down to the king. That's lovely, isn't it? A lot of people appreciating his presence and appreciating him. That's absolutely awesome. Fantastic. And I do think it's a big thing because that always was a thing for me because I've seen him in so many things, you know, Ghostbusters, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Little Shop of Horrors, and of course Spaceballs. And he's always just so cool. One of those classic kind of like 80s comedy actors. The sort of ones I just love. So it's like quite like, when you found that he didn't really act anymore. But it was also really nuanced and sweet that the reason was just to focus on family. So that was nice because he wanted to be there for them, which I think is really, really good. Not taking away from anyone who's a workaholic, because you have every right to be a workaholic and you have every right to do that. But it is quite sweet that that's the reason why. And that's why we haven't seen him in a film in years. So the fact that he is returning for this is just like, yeah, absolutely awesome. You do always think like, I mean, he probably spent his money well. He probably invested in things or whatever. I really don't know. But he was clever. Like, how did he, like, because you always do think like a lot of actors, like they could retire now and live comfortably for the rest of their lives. It's like, a lot of them don't want to. A lot of them, it's like, they love doing it, the creativity of doing what they're doing. And of course, to be cynical, the possibility of growing their, you know, estate or whatever, the prestige even further. But he obviously was wise with his money to have retired when he did and do what he has done for years and years. But for him to be back, I think is really awesome, and I think a lot of people really appreciate it and giving him his very well deserved flowers, as they say. Another thing which was really cool was a reveal that there will be an Ebenezer Scrooge film, and Johnny Depp is starring. He showed up there at Comic Con in full costume, which got people buzzed. This is really good as well for Johnny Depp because it's obviously all of the legal drama he had and family drama with his wife. We're all happy now that things are a bit more settled for both of them. They're both able to hopefully move on and, you know, live their lives the way they should. It's took Johnny a while. Not gonna lie, it's took him a little while to kind of get back up there. He's also one of those big stars who, to be honest, it was okay them not being in the spotlight for a bit because they could always come back. And his legacy was already cemented, but it's really good to see him in a big role again. Kind of like Brendan Fraser now. It feels it's just like, oh yeah, good, nice. So, without further ado, let's see him in costume in Hall H. His face there. I will say already, great costume, but also, of course, he is a world-class actor, but the facial expression there is just awesome.
Say to the crowd of this side, why am I speaking into the candle? That is my first kind act of the day. I love you, Johnny! My question. Have you ever felt lives? The responsibility, pumping up children left, right, and center, sometimes or three times. Why do you Well, I don't really care. But, as a matter of fact, since you have traveled all this way, they are quite
Yeah.
So I would like
Yeah, that big sigh there.
every single one of you. Look, just a minute. No, that's a coin. That's fine. No, you get that. I would like to present each and every one of you with this candy. Have at it. Do you know I've seen plastic cats? You know Jacob.
I mean, he is just a great actor with a lot of presence. I think some people were a bit confused what was going on there. Really, it's just a good display of his character. It took a while to get to the joke there, but it's just funny. He's not reaching his pocket for a coin, it's for some candy. But to be fair, that's still more than Scrooge would give in the beginning, isn't it? So that's him being more generous. But brilliant. Brilliant. It just look. I mean, I haven't seen the trailer. These are just the whole 8 segments, but he does seem like he's going to be a joy to watch. Kind of not scene steal him because he is the main character, so you can't really scene steal when you're the main character. But you know what I mean. It feels like it'll be really enjoyable to see on screen. I do think it looks. It's good to see him. Good to see good old Johnny Depp there like that. Well, there we are. That's the video. Some really good reveals there. Some really cool stuff. Really good to see. Quite packed, to be honest. Quite a lot of different things, which are quite exciting. And pretty cool. I mean, the Doomsday thing in particular is is really cool to get something more there. And the Rick Moranis thing, Returning with Spaceballs, the sequel, the next one it's actually called, and people's reaction to that, really, really cool. Some really good bits there, but I did really particularly enjoy everything. Of course, I want to mention everything as a standout, because then they're not standouts, are they, if I say that? But anyway, some really good stuff. Really great to catch up on that. I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Some good stuff, and I look forward to seeing the things in their full versions when they come out. But anyway, thanks very much. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you want. I've got other reactions out there. For example, I reacted to the trailer for Brand New Day, Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's kind of linked with this, so go watch that if you like. I reacted to the Harry Potter trailer. So stuff like that. A lot of reactions up. And a lot of more entertainment and movie and TV show style stuff out and to come. But anyway, thanks very much. Cheers. So you can watch that if you like, but please subscribe. Anyway, thanks very much, and I'll see you in another one.